Hello there, badass writers. I am back with video 2 of 3. And this is all in preparation for this Sunday's free writing class, the Badass Actor writing class, the first one of 2017. And yes, I will be doing a retreat, a writer's retreat this year, so stay tuned for details about that. But in the interim, the whole theme of 2017 is that last year, as I talked about in my last video, we spent a ton of time talking about structure, writing outlines, the inciting incident, moving through plot points, getting to the climax, the first act break. We got into a lot of technical stuff that was great, and you need that structure, right? You totally need that structure. You need it for a screenplay, you need it for a solo play, which is something that we all forget. We act like solo plays aren't plays and it's just somebody standing there doing stand-up, and that is not what a solo play. It's called a solo play because it too has a structure, just like a regular theater play, right? And what all of these things have in common is that they are all story. And from looking again at the surveys, I've got about 300 surveys that you guys so graciously completed. Thank you so much. You gave me a lot of input about what I could provide that would be of most use. And there seems to be a lot of anxiety, a lot of badass writer anxiety, which is, I guess, part of the job description of being a writer. I have a ton of anxiety and block. Okay, so let's get rid of that, right? And go back to the basics. That's what I'm doing in 2017 as a badass writer. Going back to the basics. And one of those primary basics that we all seem to forget is that even a stand-up comedian, right, the best stand-up comedians are storytellers. They tell a story with beginning, middle, and end. Your best screenplays, the movies you stay in from the beginning to the end, have a strong beginning, middle, and an end. The novel that you pick up and you cannot put down and you're like, oh my God, I can't stop reading this, I can't stop reading this. For some people it's the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. Some people it's Game of Thrones. Whatever, those action-driven books that are page-turners, in large part they're page-turners because they have a strong beginning, middle, and an end, and they have action and stakes and strong characters. A solo play, strong beginning, middle, and an end. One strong character going through lots of changes, and they're changed by the end, right? TV show. Ooh, we love Law and Order. Everybody loves Mariska Hargitay, right? Every episode has a strong beginning, middle, and an end. There is a strong event that happens that causes the whole show to happen. There's a crime, there's a murder, somebody got shot, somebody got robbed, whatever, a body is found, something happened, right? All of these are story. And as Robert McKee writes about in his famous book, I have the DVDs, Story, is that there are some primary elements that we're always looking for as human beings to feel satisfaction, right? We're looking for a big what happened. And I like to call it, in my terminology, in my vernacular, instead of the event, what is the what had happened? Okay? See, what had happened was, right? Why when there's a crime or there's a fire on the street, why is it that every reporter finds the seriously most outlandish character in the neighborhood to get a comment from? See, what had happened was I was coming from the store and then I saw the fire in the building. Why is it always the most outrageous person you can think of with the do-rag on their head or rollers in their hair, right? Or, chain smoking or smoking a cigar or, farming pigs. Like, why is it always somebody cray-cray that's giving us the what had happened, giving us the rundown? Because that person has a sense of drama and stakes. They know how to take an ordinary incident like I saw a fire and turn it into an event. What makes the story an event? The stakes and how important it is to the person saying it, right? So I like to call that my what had happened was, okay? And there was a video that went viral a few years ago, and there was a fire. I'm not even gonna get into details. You know what video I'm talking about. It went viral because the storyteller had stakes. The storyteller set it up and said, I was walking down the street, and the second sentence that the storyteller says is action. And there was an explosion and something blew up and it was a fire. in the apartment building across the street. I haven't said anything deep. There was a fire in the apartment building across the street, but it is the how, right? It is the how. It is how the character lays that out as if this is the biggest thing since sliced bread. This is the biggest thing since welfare cheese. That's what makes something an event. The stakes and that it is happening in real time. Now, last year I called that the inciting incident. Let's simplify it this year. I'm calling it the what had happened. What had happened that made you want to tell me this story? It's just that simple. And if you can't tell me that in an exciting way that I want to hear more of, then that means your what had happened is not a strong enough event to drive the storytelling, and that's why you're getting stuck. Okay? Everybody knows for Color Girls. What is the one story that you remember from the play for Color Girls who've considered suicide when the rainbow is not enough? The red lady throwing her children out the window. Hello. Her boyfriend throwing the children out the window. It's the most high climactic scene of the entire play. It is part of the canon. It is huge stakes. Huge, huge. It's what we remember, right? Or what I've heard Nollywood, Nigerian filmmakers say, you gotta make them laugh or you gotta make them cry. You have to elicit a powerful emotion. Your what had happened has to make somebody go, oh no, right? And in my last note, the newsletter that I sent to you guys, I talked about the what had happened being like a piece of gossip. So I want you to look at the story that's in your head or the solo play. You know who I'm talking to. Some solo play I'm reading right now. It's really lovely, Justine. I love you, Justine. I love you. One of my clients. And ask yourself, what had happened that made you want to write this story? One thing. It's one simple thing. It's not rocket science. It's not when I was 17, then I walked down the street and I saw the, no. It's one simple thing. What had happened that made me want to tell this story, right? Not the series of events that got you to that. What had happened that changed you, that made you want to write the story? That is your inciting incident. And to incite means to make something exciting, means to inspire you, means to draw you to do something, even if it's against your will, right? It's something you have to do. Some people call it a vocation, some people call it a calling. You know that thing that has happened to you, that deja vu moment in your life where you saw your whole life flash through your eyes, right? In front of your eyes, right? It's a powerful, powerful thing that happens to you that makes you want to tell other people what it was. That's all writing is. And I'm trying to simplify it because the surveys and the feedback that I'm getting is people are like, I'm getting overwhelmed, or I get to the page and I don't know what to say. And just tell me what made you want to write to begin with. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, the simpler it is, the stupider it is. And when I say keep it simple, stupid, I'm not talking about you being stupid. I'm talking about let the inciting incident be something stupid. Truly, the entire careers were made out of that, right? I mean, if you watch political comedy, Jon Stewart, or, you know, it starts with a joke. Because the thing that is making the commentator speak, or Bill Maher, is so outrageous that it has to be told. Like, it's so stupid that this is news, right? We're in the middle of a war and somebody's talking about Britney Spears' like new hairdo. How stupid is that, right? Gossip comes from a place of incredulity that somebody would actually do that. It comes from a place of disgust. It comes from a place of horror. It comes from a place of scandal. It comes from a place of huge admiration that somebody would be that outrageous, right? Often, the thing that incites you to write the story is ridiculous. It ain't gotta be life-changing. It does have to be awe-inspiring in some way. It has to make you mad. It has to make you, as I like to say, fall out hollering on the floor like a fat lady in church. It's because the stakes, the emotional stakes are high. It causes something in you to rise up and laugh, cry, holler, rage, whatever. That's your inciting incident. And what you should start writing about is that incident, not the things that happened after it. That incident. What made you want to write it? What made you want to write it? That's it. That's where you start. Start by telling it. Then start by writing it. And don't start by describing. I was walking down the street and there was a fire. It's actually just that simple. Tell me where you were and exactly what happened. I don't need all the details. I'll get that as I go along. Start with the action. And the action is what had happened. Not what somebody said had happened, not what color the grass was, not what color the room was, not what dress she was wearing, what had happened. And if you can't tell me what had happened in one sentence, then you're giving me backstory. You're not giving me action. And you're not giving me huge emotional stakes. Right? That's all I got this week. Now, there's going to be one more video that's going to come out in 24 to 48 hours. You'll get it through your email. It'll be posted on Twitter. You can follow me now at Coaching with April at the Badass Writer on Twitter. You can find me at the Badass Writer on Facebook. You can find me on my website, aprilivettethompson.com. Has all of my websites. Or you can go straight to April Yvette Thompson's Writer's Room. Just sort of complicated. But actually, just look for the Badass Writer. Just Google Coaching with April at the Badass Writer. You'll find me. Or email us directly. Coaching with April Yvette Thompson at gmail.com. If you're seeing this on my website, if you're seeing this on social media, comment. Send us your email. We'll sign you up for the free class on Sunday. And how to guarantee your spot in that free class, and even if you can't make the 1 o'clock time, we will send you the recording. All you have to do is sign up. You have to watch the 3 videos, and we're going to ask you 3 questions about the 3 videos. And the folks who get those questions right, this little quiz, they get to participate in the free class. Not only do you get to come and sit and listen, but if you want to write something and share it, if you want to get feedback on something you're working on, bring it, right? All you have to do is watch the 3 videos. That's all I got, people. I'd love to hear your questions. I would love to hear your what had happened was. And that's what this video is going to be called. I love that. See, what had happened was, tell me. Come on. Crazy stuff happened in 2016. You cannot tell me you don't have a bunch of what had happened. 2016 was full of, what had happened was, this was out the box crazy. Can you believe? And I'm not going to get any people's political views or whatever, but we know. An orange person became our president. What happened was, this is so much grist for the mill. We have so much to tell story about. So slow it down and tell me a stupid story that's entertaining. It'll get you out of your head. It'll get you out of overwhelm. It'll get you out of being drained when you write. It'll get you out of having to be good. It'll get you out of having to struggle to be profound. It will get you out of self-editing and stopping yourself. It will get you out of worrying about structure. What it will do is get you writing. And you can't tell a story without writing. All that other structure and other brouhaha comes later. And what I'm learning from the surveys is that we stop writing worrying about what it's supposed to be. Just write. So tell me a really funny, dumb, important what had happened. And next time I'm going to talk about what had happened and the importance of the character in whose mouth it comes out of. All right? That's all I got, people. Let's do this. Go be a badass writer. Love you. Mean it.